There are other states like California, Florida, and South Carolina where the numbers are worse. Right now in the Hoosier State, Republican Congressman Banks says it is imperative that kids go back to school this fall in classrooms. Fort Wayne's NBC reporter Corinne Rose sat down with Banks this afternoon.
Most importantly, the parents that I hear from overwhelmingly believe that their kids belong back in the classroom in the fall.
Republican Congressman Banks was one of the first to file a bill that would eliminate federal grant money to schools that don't open their doors by September 8th.
We already know that the virtual learning that kids received at the end of the last school year was ineffective. We know the kids backslide over the summer, and the longer we wait to get them back in the classroom, the more that we risk to leave a whole generation of kids behind educationally.
While he acknowledges that the number of COVID-19 cases is rising, he notes the number of deaths is decreasing. And he says children are at the lowest risk for contracting or spreading the coronavirus.
We're seeing the rest of the developed world reopen schools, and America is the only country in the world that's having this debate about whether or not to get kids back in the classroom. There's something wrong with that.
People we talked with had mixed thoughts about whether kids should go back to class.
Personally, I think that there'll be precautions if you do your social distancing. I think that will be enough. Plus, I've also read that there's been studies done in Europe and other countries in which children are going back to school. They need that structured environment for learning and for their parents so they can work.
I would rather have him home learning just for now until they figure out a vaccine, or just because there's just too many kids in the classroom. There's just a lot of things that you can't prevent even if you try to social distance. Kids don't really understand social distancing.
Congressman Banks expects bills similar to his to be filed once Congress reconvenes next week as the deadline looms across the country for back-to-school plans. Corinne Rose, Fort Wayne's NBC.